So we just left off trying to prove that these are all 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent. As you see, I'm going up through the thing. They're all 1 cent, hard-coded in there. There's no formulas. I just typed in 0.01. And we just got done filling in how to get the month, how to get the week. And all we did initially was put in the date, and we dragged it down. I didn't drag it all the way through the end of the year. I got all the way down to September 11th, which is just coincidence. But again, these are our column headings, and I just put an amount. Again, this is not specifically to your book that you're working on right now, but it will kind of help show some of the concepts that I was going to do later. So what's in here is every single entry, and you can have multiple entries as we get there, but so we have multiple entries, as you see, different weeks, different days, and obviously in different months. So instead of this being, you know, spread across on per tab, each month has its own tab, you can have everything on one sheet. The second sheet is now going to be like an annual tab. So I'm on sheet 2 now on the same workbook. Does it have the name? Yeah, play around. Up here, play around. So the second sheet's going to be like the annual total sheet. Excuse me. So what I did is I manually typed in January, and then I click dragged it all out. So this is basically what I did to get there. Let me do it a faster way. Shift down, 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 and delete. Alright, so I typed in January, and then I went to that little bottom corner, dragged it down, and it filled it in. So now what I had over here is what I probably should do to make it more noticeable. I'm going to go ahead and insert some rows. So we'll say month and total. And that's more or less at this point just the total for a month. So remember how every single one had a value of 1 cent or 0.01. So when it came over to the sum, it's basically 1 penny for every day, if you think about it that way. So each day you get a penny. So in January you have 31 days, 31 pennies. February, 28 days. If we did this last year, it would have been a leap year, so you would have 29. You know, that type of thing. March has got 31. Due to rounding, now see, I can go back through and we'll format this as money, I guess. So format cells, and we'll do currency. Sounds about right, and we hit OK. Boom. So now where it was 0.3 earlier, now it's recognized as 30 cents, so it doesn't get rid of that, you know, it doesn't round it to just 0.3. But anyway, how did I get these numbers? Well, if you look, I got different little formulas on here. So here's how we're going to do the matching up. So the formula used is a sum if. So let's go ahead and go back to scratch. Oops. I press backspace, I'm going to hit delete. Either way, it gets the job done. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these. This is me hitting the delete key. Down arrow, delete, down arrow, delete, down arrow, delete, down arrow, delete. So we want a monthly total for January, you want a monthly total for February, you want a monthly total for March. So all these totals can be found from adding up all the different amounts for the different days. So what we're going to go ahead and do is reference this. And so this is within one workbook, but we can do it across multiple workbooks and have it work as well. Real quick, I want to go ahead and hit save, so that way I don't lose anything. Alright, so January, we want the totals for January. Go ahead and hit the formula button, and now we want some math and trig, and then we're going to scroll down. We're looking for sum if. Now this one here is a simple one. They have some ifs as well. So here's some if, here's some ifs. The only difference is this one allows you to search for multiple criteria. This one only has you do a search for one criteria. So you see the little formula wants range, criteria, and then the sum range. So I'm going to go ahead and select this. I'll press OK. Now the range that we want, now there's two different ranges, because remember we had the date and we had the week and we had the month, and then we had an amount. So in the range is the range of cells that we want evaluated or tested. So what we're going to do is go ahead and click on the box, and it brings us back to here. Well, we don't want anything, there's nothing in this sheet that we want. We want to go to the first sheet. So click sheet 1, and automatically it types in sheet 1. This is how you would type it out if you wanted to. So we're going to test. How do we know if it's in the month of January? Well, I could say, test it by the date, but that's going to be kind of difficult, for it to realize, hey, this is January only, because I got to split it out, which is why we split it out over here. If I said do the week 1 through 4, well, what happens, like I said down here with, when we got to the 5th week? Well, the 5th week is still January, but not all of the 5th week is January, because here's part of the 5th week that's February. So that's where we want to go and take the month thing. So hopefully you're shaking your head like, this motherfucker thinks I'm fucking stupid, but at least I'm getting it out. Has it been 6 minutes already? Wow. Alright. So what we want to do is we want to test the month column. So if all we did is left it at 1 square, it'll only test that one, and it'll always test that one. Well, that's obviously going to be the case. So what we want is to have it test the whole column. So we're going to go ahead and do Shift, Control, down, and that takes us around that way. Alternatively, we could just type in column C. So I do that, and I do that, and that should be a valid. That would be the same thing as just saying, hey, click on here. Alright. Oop, that's a plus sign. So let me go ahead and go back to blank, and as if we're trying to find something, let's say add column C. So the code is sheet 1 exclamation C colon C, which is what I had. And I go ahead and press enter. And so now it takes me back to here. So here's what we're testing. It says we're testing month 11111. It doesn't get to 2, but it's testing all the values that were in column C. So column C1 was month, and then it went 1111 all the way down. So now what's the criteria? Well, for the month of January, where's my mouse? Hello, mouse. Okay, I found my mouse. Alright, so for January, we need the month to equal 1. So I'm going to go ahead and press equal 1. I press enter. Oop. What happened? Okay. So as we put the criteria for equals 1, now we have a sum range. Alright. The sum range allows you to add different parts of the same row so long as it meets the criteria. So initially when I pressed OK, if you leave this blank, what it's going to do is add up all of the ones. So in my case, it added up to 31, but we converted it to dollars, so it's $31. That's not what we want, because, oops, here, these are all pennies. And this is saying you got $31 when it should be 31 pennies. So going back up here. Wow. Okay, so now we're here. We hit the F of X button again to get back into the wizard. So now, if we don't want to add up just the ones, we want the actual like gas price or pump price or total. So now we're in the sum range. We click the little arrow again. So now what we're going to do is go back to sheet 1, and now we want the D column, and then we go ahead and press enter. So we go ahead and press OK. So what we basically did is we're testing row C from the first sheet. We're going to see if it has a 1, then add what's in column D. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK. And in here, now you see it says 31 cents. So the easy way to go about now is I drag this down. Boom, 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 boom. We're in October. Uh-oh, everything's got 31. Yeah, sorry for the dramatics. Alright, since it's getting close to 10 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit stop and I'll record in like 2 seconds, but it'll appear as a different video. Alright.